Vikings and Lions, we get set for kickoff, but first we go downstairs and say hello to Tom Rinaldi.
KB, I feel like myself again. I feel ready. That's what J.J. McCarthy told us about his return from that high ankle sprain. This, his first full week of practice since before the season opener. He missed time during week 2 due to the birth of his son. In addition to healing, he prepared by rewatching every offensive snap of games 1 and 2 with Kevin O'Connell. He said you learn from all of it, the good and the bad, and there were both. The biggest takeaway, the things you can control, body work, balance, and rhythm. We'll see how he's able to handle this atmosphere here in Ford Field as we get ready, KB.
All right, Tom, appreciate that. So JJ will meditate for a moment because the Vikings have won the toss and deferred. So it'll be Jared Goff and the Lions getting it first, and an NFC North tilt. It's been a good division this year. We thought it would be. Packers 5-1-1. The Lions are 5-2, and then the Bears in Minnesota follow that up here at home, where the Lions have been so good. Andrews.
Hi, Kev. And as Lions just returned from their bye week, a lot of their players saying it's full force for us now. It's go time. And as their head coach Dan Campbell told us, look, we are far from playing our best football, but we're better than we were in week 1. This is so Dan Campbell right there, kind of saying his team is like a well-oiled machine. It's running. You hear a knock. You need to tighten a screw, tighten a belt. You still hear that knock, but we know we're close. We know it's coming. The one thing he did say, Kev, we got to win this division because these Minnesota Viking fans are coming. The Minnesota Vikings are coming right now. Kevin, did I work the World Series last night? No, I was watching you.
I felt like we were all doing it together as Montgomery gets the carry. And by the way, I see what Dan Campbell's doing. You're tightening the belt. He said, there's a little knock in the engine. We're in the Motor City. We're playing at Ford Field. You get it?
Absolutely. I love that. Keeping it in-house. Keeping it in the family.
Well done. J.J. McCarthy has been a winner. He's 36-2 in high school at Nazareth Academy in Illinois, IMG Academy, and then in college, well, he's 27-1. 27-1. Won a national title at Michigan, and you hear so many great things about him just being a winner, Tom, and I know you can appreciate that. And so he's done it at his first 2 levels, and now, look, they drafted him last year. He was hurt all last year, unfortunately, got hurt in the preseason. So made his first 2 starts and then got hurt in week 2. So still so much to go for J.J. McCarthy to see what he could be in the NFL. But he's off to a good start here today as the Vikings with Carissa Thompson.
Thank you so much, Kevin. Bears down 7 to the Bengals. A little trickery here. Caleb gives it to Roma Dunze, who gives it to DJ Moore and throws it back to Caleb Williams. Ben Johnson dialing up a trick play here. Bears-Bengals tied at 7. Kev?
All right, Tom, tell us why this play worked.
Absolutely. This is built to be a man coverage play, and you see Naylor's trying to come up and pick the man defender, but Jones, as he slips out, they end up zoning it off, and Robertson is standing as the corner underneath it. Hawkinson's running across the field, but he sees the backup safety Harper, who's actually starting today for the All-Pro Kirby Joseph, and Harper just without all that play time in his second year. Sometimes you feel those things out and you read more of the offensive player Hawkinson and less your responsibility. So taking advantage of Kirby Joseph not being in there, and a great throw and read by McCarthy.
Yeah, Joseph's such a ball hawk, missing his second straight game with a knee injury. It's amazing, Tom, you talked about Jared Goff. You think he's playing the best ball of his career. And you think where he started, obviously, with Sean McVay, the #1 pick in the Rams, and got to a Super Bowl, obviously, and then traded here for Stafford under Ben Johnson, and, really was great. Now he's even better under John Morton. And, look, he has grown to the point where he is so confident and knows exactly what he wants and what he's seeing in his 10th year. It's been fun to watch. Oh, there's the first quarter numbers for you. Lions scored on the opening drive. Minnesota has scored on both drives they've had the ball. They've had a couple stops on defense. The Vikings have it back as we start quarter number 2 with a 2nd and 9. Good to be with you on this Week 9 NFL on Fox. So the Vikings' first lead here, told you, since 2021. It's been a long time. That's a lot of game time. Halloween on Friday. Harrison Smith, the Mad Hatter. That's well done. Jack Campbell, the Campbell Soup, of course. Justin Jefferson. Panay Sewell doing the Scarecrow. Dodgeball with T.J. Hawkinson. I like that. That's really good. Aiden Hutchinson, 11 from Stranger Things. New Stranger Things coming out, by the way. See, Aiden still got like the Halloween costume vibe with the... That's scary. That's a big dude.
That's a perfect costume. He plays like an 11 out of 10 every single snap.
Oh, I see what you did there.
If you want.
And we get a timeout. Vikings will talk things over after getting the look. And with that timeout, we bring you up to the broadcast booth and say hello. So Lions trying to tie this game up. They've got a 4th down. They actually scored their touchdown on a 4th and 4 earlier. And, you know, Minnesota, they look like a different team today. They haven't been playing so great. They've had a bunch of injuries, and they look good today.
Yeah, it looks like they simplified a few things on defense. Not quite all those exotic pressures, but they're really pounding that inside part of the pocket for the Lions offense, and they're just punching Jared Goff right where that's the one way to disrupt him is get right at him and knock his feet off. So that disruption has gone very well by Coach Flores in this defense, and this is another great opportunity for them to make a stand here early in the game. Understanding that physicality, the line of scrimmage, is always important. Every game it comes down to physicality, and so far through 20 minutes of the game, the Minnesota has won that physicality battle on both sides of the ball.
We're all tied up here at Ford Field, and these two know each other pretty well. Of course, J.J. McCarthy, Aiden Hutchinson, teammates at Michigan in 2021. First time facing off against each other in the NFL, guys. Aiden Hutchinson saying this week, it's going to be exciting to see him. We have a great relationship. No texting this week. Didn't hear from J.J. about the big contract, but Aiden Hutchinson telling our Carissa Thompson this week, I'm excited to say what's up to him, and I hopefully get to do it a couple times. It'll be fun. I'd love to respectfully give him a few hugs in this game.
Oh, yeah, sure, respectfully. We get it, Aaron. Well, look at this, Tom. Go ahead.
Yeah, Tom Rinaldi right there, and our man Spence, the security. Tom just taking one from Amik Robertson, but staying on his feet. Look at the body control. That takes a good core strength right there and core stability.
Well, the Lions, we know one thing. They like to move guys around, right? A lot of pre-snap motion for them, and it works.
A lot of motion creates some confusion on the defense. They have to adjust late to new strengths of formations. And they're also getting indicators. Gibbs goes out, comes in. He knows it's zone coverage. And then he throws a strike in zone coverage, a perfect runner's ball. And Laporta does the rest. With a quarterback who hasn't played in 5 weeks. Still better execution for both teams on offense. Certainly the pass protection scheme from the Lions looks a little vulnerable today. That's very unsettling as they run in for halftime. And can they Vikings string it together for another 30 minutes?
Find out.
What a game.
Fun first half. Time to get more stats with Geico as we take a look at the numbers from this first half. And J.J. McCarthy playing well. Lions had a couple 4th down touchdowns for them. Big plays to Sam Laporta. Penalties have hurt Detroit in this one, but pretty evenly matched game with the Vikings up by 3. Good first half. And a lot of action to cover at the break with the guys. Kurt Menefee in L.A. with the fellows. The Verizon halftime show starts now. From the Motor City, it is loud already here in Detroit. Laporta still on his feet. Touchdown! Jefferson, one-hander.
That was the fastball.
That was a fastball.
They believe in physicality. Got a lot of juice. There's a lot of flavor going on today.
Has been a lot of flavor, Tom. Today's game flow brought to you by Progressive. Vikings by 3 at the break. They'll get the ball to start the 3rd quarter. Welcome to the booth. Along with Tom Brady, I'm Kevin Burkhardt. You know, interesting. Coming in, Minnesota's run D has been terrible. Lions are great at running the ball. They've only run it to the clip of 2.5 a carry. It's been something we didn't expect today.
Certainly didn't expect it, but the physicality I think the Vikings have played with today is what sets them apart. Offensively, the offensive line, Aaron Jones having a great day. Defensively, they are stopping the run, and they are earning the right to rush the passer. And Goff has been under pressure. I'm really concerned about those protection schemes. He looks very kind of off balance in his throws. He's going to have to figure that out here early, or else it's going to be tough against this Flores defense that he just continues to spin the dial.
Yeah, and Goff has torn up the blitz, and specifically this Vikings blitz in recent memory, but today they're getting a lot of pressure on him. That's why Minnesota is able to be in front right now, and they'll get it to start this 3rd. Taken by Price. Big kick return to start the game. Not so much here, though, as we go downstairs to Aaron.
So what does Dan Campbell want to see, Kevin, out of his defense here as they get out onto the field? He said, first of all, the penalties have absolutely killed us, and some of them are out of our control. He said we just need to line up, go out there and play. He said, of course, the way they ended that first half with that interception was absolutely huge. But he said, J.J. McCarthy has given this team some life. We knew we would get their best shot. I asked him about countering that pressure by the Vikings defense. He said, this offense has opened up Pandora's box. We are killing ourselves. We need to do a better job with the communication. Calm down and clean it up.
Calm down. I like that, Aaron. Good advice. So here's McCarthy and the Vikings with Aaron Jones up the middle, and Jones had a nice day as we go downstairs to Tom.
Well, KB, Kevin O'Connell really pleased with the return of J.J. McCarthy, how he's played and how he's executed, in particular when the first progression hasn't been there. Pleased with his fundamentals and body control. Defensively, it's the push they're getting at the center of that line that Tom has been stressing this entire game. He talked about it with us before this game started. Can we match their physicality, their belief that they win getting off the bus, the physical battle? We need to continue to do that in the second half.
And you talk about Flores. There used to be this old video game NFL blitz. It's the Brian Flores blitz because he does it second most of anyone. 46% blitz rate on the year since 2023, right? I mean, he does it all the time because it works. See, Jared Goff, though, against Flores has had a lot of success coming into today. But today hasn't been the case. He's done a good job mixing the FC today. Just 2 of 6, 14 yards, a 42 rating. That is a much different story. And Flores actually blitzing a tick less today. You get a little celebration here. Justin Jefferson respecting his young quarterback. I'll tell you what, it's only the third game J.J. McCarthy has played in the pros, right? And I know we were looking for him to show certain things today, but he looks great. You know, people said he had the one good quarter against Chicago. Yeah. He's done a lot well today. I know you've been impressed.
He's doing a lot that we can actually see on when the ball snapped. He's doing a lot before the snap. And I think that tells me that Kevin O'Connell's putting a lot of trust in him to get you in and out of the right plays. That last play on the scramble for the touchdown, that's pretty easy for him. He's been doing that since high school. The harder things are getting the play in the huddle, getting the operation right, getting us into the right play, handling the protection schemes, and then making accurate throws. And outside of the one throw where he threw it behind Naylor on the interception, there's so many positives from what I've seen here today. Accurate throws, good decisions, good times to throw the ball away. Definitely giving this team the spark that it needed coming into a very tough place to play.
Yeah, no doubt. This crowd kind of stunned as the Vikings go up by 10. And Sailor's going to take it on out. Up across the 30, good return, and knocked down at the 40. Good field position there. Another game break. Let's check in with Carissa Thompson.
Thank you so much, Kevin. Packers fans also stunned here. Packers, who have the best record in the NFC, hosting the Panthers. Bryce Young to Rico Dowdle for his second touchdown of the day. Missed extra point, but Panthers on top, 13-6 on the road. Kev?
Dowdle's got the most rushing yards in the league the last month. I mean, Chuba Hubbard got hurt, and he's going off. It's unbelievable. We've got a game break. Back to Carissa Thompson.
Thanks, Kev. Broncos going for their 6th straight win, trailing the Texans by 8. Bo Nix will hit R.J. Harvey for this 27-yard score. They added a 2-point conversion. We're all tied at 15, but it should be noted earlier in the game, C.J. Stroud went out with a concussion. Kev?
We take a look at today's Next Gen Stats powered by AWS. It is the constant pressure on Jared Goff today.
It has been. This is the middle pressure where Gibbs doesn't quite step up. Wilson on the sack. He's been feeling that all day. Again, more pressure from the right side. This is a max blitz. You've got to know that you can't have that one picked up. This one he should have picked up. But that is just 5 yards behind the center. That's where their bullseye has been all day on this Vikings pass rush. Just meet there. That's where Jared's going to be. If we can attack the middle of the pocket, create a lot of disruption in what he's doing, you're going to force a lot of inaccurate throws and feet that are just moving around. Not the sense of comfort we've seen from him all season long.
AWS AI, how the NFL levels up the game. All right. Hey, next Sunday, a big Fox NFL doubleheader starts with Jackson Dart and the Giants taking on Caleb Williams and the Bears. Or other regional action. And then America's Game of the Week will be in D.C. Jared Goff and the Lions battling Jaden Daniels and the Commanders. Some will see the Rams and the Niners. Check local listings to the games in your area only on Fox. defense. And as much as we've talked about J.J. McCarthy, how well he's played today, what a great job he's done. Well, guess what, kid? It's not over yet. You got to get another first down to win this game.
Well, that's what it's about. Going on the road, division opponents, that QB1's got to step up and lead the team. They've got to make some decisive throws here because they're going to be loaded up to stop the run. Now he's got to find his open guy, make accurate throws when the pressure mounts. This is what you see what these young quarterbacks are made of. How do they handle the pressure? How do they handle these big-time environments? This is one of them. There's going to be a lot to see here today in the next 2 minutes.
Sorry, to your point, down on the goal line there, Minnesota stopped the clock 2 consecutive plays. There could be 50 seconds left in this game right now. Such an excellent point by you. So now the play calling choices are going to be fascinating.
Yeah, and sometimes I just think you got to make the smart decisions, and I always expect someone like KOC to do that. I think he's one of the best coaches in the NFL. He's a former teammate of mine, but so on top of things. In that situation, I would have loved to see 2 run plays. Even if you don't get it in, that clock is not the opponent's friend.
Here's Price. And he is stopped just across the 20. All right, a lot has happened in this game. It's been a good one. Division rivals here. And here it is. J.J. McCarthy, watch this. One-hander by Justin Jefferson. And then Montgomery with a big fumble. Harrison Smith recovered. They would go on to score here on McCarthy's run. And then this blocked field goal, the biggest play of the game to boot. Isaiah Rodgers picked it up, ran it back. 51 yards. They had to settle for a field goal. This, though, just moments ago, it's a 3-point game. Minnesota ball, 3 timeouts for Detroit.
And you fully expect the Lions to get back on track as well. This is a great organization. Dan Campbell, one of the greatest coaches in the NFL, but they just did not look comfortable from the start today. And I got to give Kevin O'Connell a ton of credit for getting his team ready to play, understanding the physical battle they had to play. And that defense set the tone all day long. Coach Flores getting in the middle of the pocket. That was a great team effort in all 3 phases.
That really was. And so the Vikings up their record of 500 now, 4-4, right in the mix. The Lions fall to 5-3. An exciting road win for J.J. McCarthy and Brian Flores' defense. What a game plan, what a performance. Vikings get the win here. We'll take you to the conclusion of the Broncos and Texans with Kevin Kugler and Daryl Johnston. Enjoy that one. See you from Detroit.